Today, we are talking about this concept of a worry free day and what you can learn about yourself from the things that you worry about and how attached you may have become to your worries and worrying in general. I don't know if I'm saying that word like worry. You know what I'm talking about. Worry. Because I feel like I'm not even saying it properly. And I have to say it a lot in this episode. So here's the thing. This concept of a worry-free day. Oh my goodness. I'm recording this in March, but it will get to your ears in April. But it came to me this week during my morning routine and my morning practice in the Best Today Guide. So every morning, my morning routine looks about the same, right? I wake up, I pray, I read, I journal about 90% of the time. Some days I've got, things on my mind that I want to write. And some days I'm like, I got nothing. So I write when I feel like I could benefit from writing, or I have something I want to write or remember or process. So that's it. Wake up, pray, read, journal most times. Then I go to my Best Today Guide and do the morning practice. And you can learn more about that morning practice in episode 2. What is the Best Today Guide? I talk about it more there or online at besttodayguide.com. But I go through the morning practice where I write out I start with, what does my best look like? And on this particular day that I was sitting down to get to the Best Today Guide in the morning practice, it was March 16th, right? The 1-year anniversary of the Best Today Guide opening up for pre-orders. And I was so excited because, we had made it to this fantastic 1-year milestone. And I wanted that entire day just to feel like a celebration as I sat there. And this is why it's so important to make time to just sit and think and feel. And I sat there as I was thinking about what does my best today look like, right? I hope you all, when you're answering that, you're not just rushing through and writing the same thing every day. When I am thinking about that, I look over at what the day entails and I kind of take in if this is the kind of day that I have planned over here on the plan my day part, looking at that, what does my best look like? And what do I need to feel today? How do I want to feel today? Right. So all those are the things that are running through my mind in the morning as I'm sitting there, really walking through my mind. There's no rushing. As I'm sitting and I'm thinking, and I knew that, this is a big accomplishment, Shantae, and I don't want to be robbed of that today. So I wanted the entire day to feel like a celebration because it very much so was. And I wanted to acknowledge the hard work and consistency that got me there. So as I'm sitting here, because I'm sitting at my desk where I do my Best Today Guide in the mornings, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what does my best look like today? And I wrote that my best looks like delighting in the entire day without worry, without addressing or giving space for any worries that could easily pop into my mind as a business owner, as an employer, as a leader, as a parent, as a friend, as the many other shoes that I wear. I wanted to gift myself, and it just came to me like as I was sitting here, with a day to just celebrate, to just float in the fact that the day was an accomplishment and that above all, I had done what felt like the impossible at the top of 2020. It really did feel like a mission impossible. And so I wrote that my best looked like allowing myself to feel joy, to allow myself to fully celebrate and to leave the weeds, to another day, all those little things and the details and okay, what are we going to do about this? Like, the weeds, basically, there are all those little details that are there that have to be addressed or taken care of in the operation of a business and the operation of your home and the like, in your workplace, in your relationships, whatever it might be. That's what I mean when I say the weeds. Like, they're going to be there. It's those details. But I didn't want to be in the weeds today. I didn't even want the weeds to exist. And this is why I love handwriting so much and why we do not offer the Best Today Guide digitally, because this idea of a worry-free day, a day just to feel joy, it came out of my hand. Like before, I didn't think of that. My hand started writing that as I assessed, what do I want to feel today? What do I need today? I needed to just celebrate. I needed to not give any energy or space or time to weeds. I hadn't thought about that previously. Usually every morning when I get up, like I said, to look at, what does my best look like, I look over at what the day's calling for and how I want to feel. And then I write that out, or I incorporate a part of my reading from the morning. And this day was no different. And I wrote what just came out of my hand. And after I wrote that down, I thought, why on earth have I not thought about this before? Intentionally living out a worry-free day, giving myself full permission to just feel joy. Because there are so many other things that we could be feeling. There are so many other things that are going on, or at least we tell ourselves that. And we then create that narrative. What if I said, no to worry today, no to getting into the weeds. So I then took to my favorite place to go to hold conversations about things that matter. I went to the Best Today membership, and I asked them, because this was really like at the top of my mind. I was really intrigued when I finished my Best Today guide morning practice. I turned to my computer, and I asked over in the membership, what would today be and feel like if you made an agreement with yourself not to worry about a single thing, not to fear, not to doubt, but to only celebrate and hope and feel joy all day long? Returning to the weeds another day. Would you be able to do that? How do you think it would work for you? That's exactly what I wrote. I just read what I wrote over there. And because I was like, someone clearly has to have thought of this before, and I'm sure someone has. But for me, it really was like I'm going to intentionally do that on the front end of my day. And I know some of you may be listening and saying, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You have the power to say, yes, I want to do this, right? And this is the first part of it, because there's a longer conversation about this then becoming a lifestyle and how we can make that. And we'll get to that, I'm sure, on future episodes. But today, as with most episodes, it's a conversation starter. And so that's what I posted as a conversation starter in the Best Today membership, always knowing I'm going to get something beautiful from the women. And that's just them sharing themselves and their honest and their truth with us all in the membership. And so I want to read you some of the responses. I'm going to read 5 of the responses that we got to that question, because each and every one of them was really telling, and I want to talk about them. So the first person wrote, and I'm reading everyone's responses pretty much verbatim. The first response said, that type of day would be filled with laughter, good food, and enjoying the company of whomever I'm with. Now, am I able to do that? Emoji face like, ee! I think I would be nervous to do it with a whole heart. In the back of my mind, the thoughts of me returning back to the weeds would haunt me, and the feels of preparing for that return would cut my joy in half. Yikes. That's the first response. Another response. That sounds That just sounds refreshing reading it, Shantae. It would be a physical release for me. I'd slowly move through my day, plan nothing, and enjoy everything. At first, this would be for a weekend, because less external factors would play in the stress. Then, as I get better at practicing, it could hopefully become a workday thing where I intentionally choose to focus that energy on not worrying about what I cannot control. The third response. It would be amazing. I'd feel so light and free. I'd be in my zone. A fourth response. It would feel freeing. It would take some preparation, but I think this is something I could do for myself. And number 5, this would be amazing. I've been trying to and haven't succeeded yet. So now I do want to pose this question to you. And remember, you can come back here and conversate with me about this episode by going to besttodayguide.com/voice. If you want to share your thoughts in response to today's episode and in response to this question, because I'm about to pose this question to you. Yep, you. What would today be and feel like for you if you made an agreement with yourself not to worry about a single thing, not to fear or doubt, but to only celebrate and hope and feel joy all day long, returning to the weeds another day. Would you be able to do it? How do you think it would work for you? I want to know. So make sure you go to bestdayguide.com/voice. I really want to hear from you because I was just so fascinated by the answers that we received and just this whole concept and conversation. So, one of the things that struck me immediately by the responses is the comment that said, I would be nervous to do it with the whole heart. Why is it that we can give dread, we can give worry, we can get sitting in our fears, being crippled by them? We can give all those things our whole heart, like all of our energy, all of our space, and not give that same type of all in just for one day. Like this is a baby starter, right? This is a little starter for one day to live a worry-free day. Now, I will put this little caveat here. I'm talking to those of us who are not currently in the middle or the throes of deep tragedy. If you are a parent sitting beside your child who is deathly sick, this message may not be for you right now unless you want it to be and you need that worry-free day, right? But I do acknowledge there's some people who are deeply in the midst of the throes of deep tragedy. I'm not talking about life because life is going to be life, y'all. So if you got like 2 problems, if you got 20, it's called life. No, but Jay-Z had 99. But I just wanted to clear that up. But I want to break down some of those responses that I just read to you, because I think that I know that you listening to me right now, you can relate to them in one way or another. And then let's talk about some steps to think through and some action steps for you as well in getting to this worry-free day. At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today.
Hi, my name is Mary, and I've been using Clean One Room since last July and can't say enough good things about it. My kitchen was never clean for about 7 years, and I tried all the things. I am a very type A person, super organized, normally great at keeping things together, but kitchen was just a hodgepodge of clutter and stuff, and it just never worked out. Once I used Clean One Room, once I went through all the steps and followed the process and really did the work, my kitchen has been clean since last July. I obviously have to wipe up and clean up messes and, keep it sanitary and all that, but it's clean. There's no mess. There's no clutter ever. Everything has a place to be. And now that it's clean all the time, everyone in my house knows where things go and they put them away too and are used to the system and handle it. I've Clean One Roomed my entire house. It works amazing in every room, but honestly, it sold me completely in my kitchen. It's been a dramatic change and really has taken a lot of stress out of me. I get very stressed when my space is cluttered, and I have 2 kids, 7 and 4, who are messy little people. But to know that I have a system to go to know that it works, and that here I am. So from last July until now, this is the first week in March when I'm recording this, to know that it's going to stay clean and is always, always, always something I can fall back on in the program if for whatever reason it gets cluttered again. It's just a huge relief, and I love it so much. I recommend it to everyone I know. I even had a friend who bought it last week and organized a closet this weekend and was sending me pictures, raving about how wonderful it is. It just works. If you are at all interested, I encourage you to invest the time and get on it because it really is a game changer.
Oh, I love it. And I can attest that Mary has shared with us multiple times over in the Best Today membership, not only about the joy in having a clean kitchen, but also her playroom and multiple rooms around her house where her children are taking responsibility and autonomy over keeping their areas clean. The Clean One Room framework and process that I teach works. And if you want to learn so that you too can have that enthusiasm and joy about your home so that you can stop spending your evenings, your weekends cleaning all the time, I want to teach you this method, and you can learn at cleanoneroom.com to sign up and learn how to stop cleaning your entire house, learn how to clean one room at a time, and then build a reset routine around it. Again, visit cleanoneroom.com so that you can have that spark like Mary does about her kitchen. cleanoneroom.com. So the first thing that stuck out to me, like I mentioned, was being nervous to do it with my whole heart. If you are a journaler, I want to give you some prompts or some guides to write about this week. So write these down or look at where the time is on the podcast and say, okay, I'm going to come back and fast forward to this spot here so I can get these journaling prompts. What would feeling joy with my whole heart feel like today? I want you to write that down, and I want you to journal about that, whether it's now, today, tonight, before bed, or in the morning when you wake up. What would feeling joy with my whole heart feel like today? What would it feel like to allow myself to feel joy in place of worry all day today? Next one. Am I afraid of being happy? And if so, why? Because I remember I listened to her who said, you know, she's afraid because she's waiting for the other shoe to drop, or she's afraid because it's like being happy now, something's going to happen that's going to make me unhappy. And I'm going to be thinking about, well, what is that thing that's going to make me unhappy? Or what are those things I know that don't make me happy? You know, we're robbing ourselves. I'm getting ahead of myself. Get back to the questions. But yeah, am I afraid of being happy? And if so, why? And then the fourth journal prompt, do I feel as if I deserve the right to live worry-free? You know what I'll do? I'll go in and I'll also add these prompts to the show notes as well. Let me make myself a note because I didn't have that in the show notes. So let's go back. So these will be in the show notes at besttodayguide.com/6. There we go. The number 6. So besttodayguide.com/6. Here they are again, though, if you want to write them down. What would feeling joy with my whole heart feel like today? What would it feel like to allow myself to feel joy in place of worry all day today? Am I afraid of being happy? And if so, why? Do I feel as if I deserve the right to live worry-free? Now, if you find yourself afraid to even think of the concept of a worry-free day, a day where you allow yourself to feel the good, the joy, the celebration, whatever is good for you, just in a single day, right? Because we're just starting this conversation talking about one day intentionally, something small. I want you to sit with this, and I want you to find out the source of this inability to think of yourself removed from worry, even if just temporarily. Do you believe that you are worthy of feeling joy for an extended period of time? Do you believe that you're worthy of feeling joy for a lifetime? And if not, why? Because when times of joy or celebration, when they come to you, are you not able to give your full all because you're like I said earlier, like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're like, ooh, I can't, if I fully immerse in this, then it's going to destroy me when something else happens. Or I'm going to, I can't fully enjoy it because I know there's something else. You're like tensed up, right? You think this is too good to be true. So I'm just going to wait for something terrible to come, and then it's going to wreck it. And or you feel like this can't last. Like, why would I try to have a worry-free day when that's not a reality or that's not something I can experience? Like, I'm sure some of you have thought that already. These are the things I want you to sit with, though, and I want you to think through. So this is an episode that I actually want you to rewind and replay often. After you listen, I want you to come back and maybe take some notes, journal, write, think through this, because perhaps this is going to help bring out some much needed awareness. So please don't brush this off. I really want you to sit with this. Why would you fear or be nervous about living a life where you don't have to live trapped by worry or give time and space and energy to worry? Would a better solution be to identify the source of your worry and deal with that? Let's talk about that, right? So the second comment that struck me, and we're going to talk about, I want to make sure I was clear when I said that. If you tense up at this whole thought of a worry-free day, right? That energy, that space that you're giving right there for that, I was saying a better solution would be to identify the source of your worry and let's deal with that. It's like how I say, we don't want to help you organize your chaos at best today. We want to help you remove it. So I don't want ultimately you to just have one worry-free day. I want you to be able to find out the source of your worries or worry and let's get it out of our lives. And we're going to talk about that. And like I said, this is just the beginning, conversation starter. But it takes me to that second comment where she wrote, in the back of my mind, the thoughts of returning back to the weeds would haunt me, and preparing for that return would cut my joy in half. Now, I can understand the sentiment here, right? I can't pretend that the things that I worry about aren't still there. Like they still exist. That's what I'm hearing her say. I can understand that, right? Because they're still real. She's concerned that they're going to keep creeping into my day, even when I'm trying to spend a day away from them. So now I want to try to reframe this. So go with me here. And I can't wait to hear y'all's voice messages about this. Think of the things that you have that are good in your life, like something that you might want to celebrate, like a birthday, a milestone, hey, Taco Tuesday, you name it, right? Now, what if on your birthday or the day of your milestone, I came in and I said, I know this milestone is here and you want to celebrate, but instead of celebrating today, your birthday, I want you to worry all day instead about the things that are going on in your life that cause you stress and strain. So let's not celebrate today. Let's just be stressed out, right? That doesn't sound like fun. Like just, you want me to just be stressed out? And it's kind of like, that's what you're saying. You're like, I have these things to celebrate, but I would rather just be stressed out and bring in the worry rather than just focus on the celebration. It's like I want it all together or not at all. Does that make sense? I think most people actually, however, would be able to do that. They'd be able to block out. It's a lot easier. The point I'm trying to make is it's a lot easier to block out the joy and the good than it is for me to sit here and say, okay, we're going to not celebrate today. We're just going to sit here and be stressed. It's actually easier for people to do that than to do the worry-free day, because it's a lot easier to block out good and say, well, because this bad is what feels like reality. But here's the thing, the good in your life, it's reality too. And so many times you make it seem like the good is just this temporal thing that's only here for a little and it's eventually is going to get messed up. And I'm trying to help you to see the worry is a temporal thing, that we can actually remove that from your life. The good stuff is real. The real good stuff is real, y'all. Why can't the good come in and remove the worry? Especially if we're just talking about right now for one day. So here's what I am proposing. And I want you to seriously think about my question that this episode poses, which is, what would today be like if you made an agreement with yourself not to worry about a single thing, not to fear, not to doubt, but to only celebrate and hope and feel joy all day long? Returning to the weeds another day. Would you be able to do that, and how would it work for you? And let me just say, when I say feeling hope and joy all day long, doesn't mean you're going around throwing confetti at people all day or hitting cartwheels. I'm sitting here talking to you right now, feeling joy all throughout this moment, from the second you heard the first word until throughout. So experiencing and feeling joy doesn't look like I just won the lottery and I'm going to run up and down the street. I want to make that clear as well, that we have a clear understanding of what joy is. Joy doesn't have a one dimension and it doesn't look one way, right? Okay. So what can you do today to prepare for a worry-free tomorrow, like literal tomorrow, the day after today? I'm not speaking figuratively here. Can you silence the negative voice with a positive one instead? Can you say, this is what I'm going to do, or this is what I'm going to say when worry or negative voice creeps in? Can you think about it right now, being proactive, right? So is the thing that causes you worry something that you can do something about today so that it's no longer even an issue tomorrow? So for example, if what's been worrying you is pain you've been having, can you schedule a doctor appointment? So like the worry is about the pain. Can you schedule a doctor appointment and agree that until the appointment, you're not going to dwell on it? Now, again, of course, if you're feeling the pain, you're going to feel the pain, but, or if there's an issue, and you need to make a doctor's appointment, you make the doctor appointment and say we have to wait, right? We have to wait to see what the doctor says. Until I go and see the doctor, it makes zero sense for me to dwell on it between here and the doctor, because what is worrying doing for you, right? Is it helping you feel better? Is worrying helping the situation or your life or your day or your mood or your mental health? No, it's not. Can you have the things that worry you moved to another day? And because, listen, I don't know all the things that cause each and every one of you to worry. I can't speak to all of them. Some clearly are going to be easier to deal with than others. Some may require professional help. But can you identify what those worries are? What are you worrying about? What is causing you worry? What is causing you stress? What is causing you strain in your life right now? I want you to identify those things because perhaps you hadn't done this before. Identifying them first and foremost, before we even get to talking about worry-free, may open your eyes to things that need your attention right now, that you need to prioritize because you keep pushing them lower and lower. And that's why the worry hasn't left. So this may be a helpful exercise in helping you to understand these are things that need my time and focus right now so I can get rid of them so they're no longer worries. But can you commit to one day this week choosing that you will live a worry-free day? You will try to live a worry-free day. And why do I want you to do this? Well, a number of reasons, some of which include to see how it feels, to see if you struggle with it. So you can ask yourself why, and perhaps identify some areas of your life that need your attention and intention right now. Areas that may continue to otherwise be overlooked. I also want you to do this because I want to show you that it's possible, and for you to allow yourself to just feel the joy for a whole entire day so that you can crave it for your whole entire life. What would a worry-free day feel like for you? I want you to give it a try, and I want you to let me know. Now, going back to the day I mentioned I tried to do this on March 16th, did I have some thoughts come to my mind of things that are particularly concerning me right now? Yes, a few times I did. But I was ready to respond to it immediately with helpful truths. I met each thought with a truth, and then it was gone. Because it really does take intention, especially when you're doing this for the first time. I realized, and here's the thing. I also decided to do this right in the moment during my morning practice. I didn't plan for this. Like, okay, I didn't create saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do if this happens, because I literally thought of it in the morning, in the middle of my morning practice. Now I know that this is something I intentionally want to do each day, and I can prepare for it by addressing the things that come to my mind or cause worry or stress and address them beforehand. Typically for me, it's as simple as addressing the concern or the fear with truth, right? You may be concerned that you may lose your job. That's a legitimate, and let's assume it's a legitimate concern and not you just creating stories, right? What is a truth that you can address that with? And for everyone, it's something different, but could the truth be that you are an excellent and skilled person and you will find work, or you are a victorious person, or that the Lord is always with me. Nothing can happen to me that is not for me. even the things that look like they aren't, or whatever a truth might be that you can meet with that worry. Or you can say, here's something I can do about that. I can go in and schedule an assessment with my boss, but what's a truth you can address you can meet that fear or concern with? It doesn't change the situation, but it changes you, right? Me speaking truth to the things that came to my mind, they didn't change the situation, but it changes me. And that sometimes is the way to change a situation, is to change you first. Man, hold up. I'm gonna say that again. That's a tweetable. I don't really tweet, but that's really it, right? It may not change the situation, but the thing that actually probably needs to change may not be the situation first. Maybe you need to change first. And you changing is what unlocks the situation to change. Boom. So if you are listening to these words that I'm speaking, can you join me in a worry-free day? Let me know either in the membership, besttodaycommunity.com if you're not inside, or by sending me a message at besttodayguide.com/voice, which is linked in today's show notes at episode 6, besttodayguide.com/6. Like I said, this is the beginning of a conversation, one that is meant to help you on the journey of being your best one today at a time, one that helps bring awareness to you about you, and one that helps you to live a life of intention. So please go back. This is a great episode to bookmark and to revisit, and please do those journaling prompts as well. I'll put the journaling prompts in the show notes at besttodayguide.com/6. Until next time, I want you to remember that you are capable and you are worthy of being your best one today at a time. And you have everything you need to have everything you want. So go on and shout it out while you live it out, that this is what my best today looks like. Talk to you again on the next episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Best Today podcast, you are going to love the Best Today Guide. Our Better Than a Planner guide teaches you how to get clear on what you want, identify your self-destructive habits and behaviors, and intentionally create space to prioritize yourself every single day. Don't go the journey to being your best one today at a time without the Best Today Guide. See inside its pages and order yours today at besttodayguide.com. Even better, when you order the Best Today Guide, we gift you with your first month free inside of the Best Today membership. So what are you waiting for? We're giving you everything you need to trade busy for intention. Go to besttodayguide.com and order yours today and join thousands of women across the globe proclaiming each day, this is what my best today looks like.